No, Protecto B! Sophie, use your body as a shield. Sylvie, whatever your name is. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Loki. We're now on to episode 4 of season 2, which is called The Heart of the TVA. So the last episode, we had the reemergence of another variant of Kang. This one goes by the name of Victor Timely, and we know that this Victor has been tampered with because He Who Remains set up a plan with Miss Minutes and Renslayer to get the TVA handbook to a young Victor Timely and basically shape him to become an innovator as well as someone who knew about time-space manipulation in order to eventually become the person who sits at the seat of the end of time. So basically, He Who Remains was looking for another Kang to replace himself. And that plan was foiled somewhat because, of course, Loki and Mobius were close behind, following Renslayer's trail so they could figure out what was going on, but mostly because Loki was looking for Sylvie. But once they realized what Renslayer was up to, they realized now that they need to also figure out what's going on with this particular version of Kang for two reasons. One, because we know that the TVA needs the help of a Kang in order to override the locks and allow Ouroboros to fix the time loom. Time loom is what it's called, yes. And we also need him potentially to help us understand what's going to happen with all the other Kangs that might possibly be on their way into the different timelines, including the sacred timeline. But anyways, we saw that the Lokis fought. It didn't turn out well, but in the end, Sylvie had the drop on Victor Timely and could have taken his life, but she realized at the last minute that what Loki has been trying to tell her for a while, as well as Victor Timely saying, "You don't know me, you don't know who I am, like you're judging me on something that that wasn't me." And that really very much is Sylvie's story, right? Like she was attacked and her family was taken and everything because of what other variants of her did, not anything that she herself did. So she realized that if she went through with that act, she would be no different than He Who Remains or everything else that she believes the TVA stands for. So at the moment, Victor Timely continues to live. Renslayer, on the other hand, was sent back to the end of time with Miss Minutes by Sylvie. And we see that Miss Minutes is quite upset because we also saw that Miss Minutes has an unhealthy obsession with the Kangs, and she believes that she should be given a corporeal body so that she can be with him mind, body, and soul. But we see that this particular Kang, just like the other one, has no interest in that. But now they both feel like Timely is the enemy. And so who knows what kind of evil plans they're up to, but Miss Minutes has got a lot of information about the TVA, about the Kangs, and she's got Renslayer, who now has like a very, very bitter pill sitting in her mouth for everything that's happened. So that's kind of where we were. Timely is now going to the TVA with Mobius and Loki to try to fix the time loom, and Sylvie's in the wind, as far as we know. So I'm ready to jump into the episode and see who the heart of the TVA truly is. And before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that I do reactions here. Welcome to my channel, by the way, if this is your first time. And if you like watching me do this particular reaction, or you want to see me react to other shows, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I'd love it so much if you gave some love to that like button as well as the comments below. Please leave them because it helps me out a lot. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Oh, this is the end of time.
There's something you have to see.
Okay. Oh yeah, there was a secret Miss Minutes had for her, but she wasn't gonna like.
A utopia at the end of time.
For us, for all time.
Always.
Interesting.
I would be proud to lead with you.
But did he mean it? Because she doesn't remember.
Shall we go?
I'll catch up.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll catch up. Famous last words. And you never remembered anything after that.
Do you feel?
Never did. I don't know if I trust that this is actually what happened, because Miss Minutes be lying, but...
Erase her memories.
You sure?
Erase all their memory.
If you say so.
So Miss Minutes does the erasing. Damn, she's terrifying.
I was here.
Yeah. You didn't figure that out yet? That's exactly what Loki's been trying to tell y'all.
You didn't just help. It was you who commanded the army.
Mm.
And while he sat on his throne, I continue to do all the work to keep him there?
Well, something like that.
Yeah, I believe Miss Minutes might have manipulated that a little bit.
That we don't need him. Maybe we never did.
Okay, Miss Minutes. Okay. Yeah, of all people, Miss Minutes, you don't get to say that. I know you thinking you're really big for your britches because he gave you a little autonomy, but he still created you. You are finite. The Kangs are not. Okay, but let Winsley. Oh my gosh, she's our new big bad, guys. Why? Come on, her and Mobius are supposed to be together, man. Why are you doing this to me? Council of Kangs. Why are you alone? Where's everybody else? Anyways, can you find Ouroboros, please? Quickly, find OB and give him your little schematic and make sure that it's in line with what he had.
What do you want with me?
Come with us. I will show you.
That didn't sound as reassuring as you hoped it would. Ms. Ravona wants me. The effervescent clock lady monster thing wants me.
Monster?
I don't disagree.
But we're all about to die, so maybe we can talk about this after you fix it.
The doctor's alive.
Yes, she's in holding with the others. We can't keep them there forever.
You sure? I think we can.
I know what we would have done in the past. Simple, clean, efficient.
Is that what we do now?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is kind of unprecedented.
So we forgive and forget.
No,
She's a general of the TV.
we just get through it for now.
I don't think it'll change anything.
Don't be so sure of that. Your words changed me.
Yeah, but you're sane. Some of us aren't. That Scottish lady, she's crazy, man. I'm kidding. I get where she's coming from. I'm just to the point now. I'm just like, if you're a problem, just eliminate them.
Oh, B?
You wrote the manual?
Ouroboros.
That squeal.
Yes, I did. But I learned everything I know from a brilliant 19th century inventor named Victor Timely. If we had the resources, it would have been bigger than Einstein.
Oh my god, this time loop that's happening right now. Again.
Did you say your name was?
Your work is based on his work, and his work is based on your work. Exactly which came first.
It's like a snake eating its own tail.
Ouroboros.
I never even squat mine.
Oh my god, can you guys fanboy later? What happened to the old urgency? It's all gone.
We'll have to take our throughput multiplier down the gangway, load the throughput multiplier into the launcher. Then they'll
Like, when did he have time to do this? Ouroboros is a wizard, you guys. It's not easy to put together models.
backlog of branches that was created when someone killed equal remains and released all those branches.
Yeah, she's still proud of it.
There's much more temporal radiation out here than there was when you went out there, Mobius.
So much more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Loki's really gonna have to hook it then.
Exactly. He's like, I'm not going out there again.
Our throughput multiplier does not yet work.
Why?
Doesn't work.
Wait, let me. Yes.
Please add your hypotheses.
Outpaces your multiplier's throughput capabilities.
Every time, yeah. How did you know that?
Hello? The loop. I invented this, sort of.
Until I made this.
Your ship.
Mr. Ouroboros, if anyone can,
It's you.
it's you.
Ah, that's right. If you have help with somebody who can actually work at the speed of your brain.
Okay, come on, let's give him some space to work.
I know this is exactly what you feared, Sylvie, but I mean, they need to work together and they're always going to work together, some version of them, so.
And you want to leave it to them while we go and have some
What
pie?
else can we do?
Come on, let's go and get some pie. Why not?
But weren't you just having McDonald's like 2 days ago?
You found out you were a variant, and you haven't even looked, have you?
This again.
Because you've never bothered to look if one of them was yours. Who cares if a few just disappear?
It's a bit judgy, Sylvie. You're being a bit judgy. But she has some valid points. But doesn't mean it applies to everyone. I feel like her and B15 would get along a lot better.
If we just try to figure this out, we can get out of this room and we can get back to our lives. Huh?
They didn't want to get back to their lives. You're in the wrong room here, buddy. These are people who would have killed off your branch.
We all know about your escapades as an actor, Brad.
Pot, kettle. Wrong room.
Don't you think you earned your life?
No!
And here it is.
You have no authority to keep us here.
Kind of do, actually.
What do you want? Your help. You and your Minutemen.
Minutemen.
If we have to fight to defend this place, from Renslayer or worse, can we trust you? You're serious.
Dead, unfortunately.
I cannot trust you.
Me? I didn't go off. Okay. Not Brad, though. Brad can stay. Brad can rot.
What if they don't go for it?
Then we just get rid of them. It's not like you can't just grab more people from the timeline. I'm kidding. That's so Kang of me. Not kidding.
We plan on coming to Pyland.
She tries them. Or at least the frosting.
And so we're clear. I asked for your help, and you walked away.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I'm here, aren't I? Again!
You're only here because you couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
He who remains wasn't scared. Maybe he was and I just didn't notice.
Not reflection. You really are growing, Sylvie.
Self-care she killed.
Does it?
Sylvie, you spared Timely's life, and because of that, the TVA and those timelines will survive.
Putting a lot of faith in those three men.
I mean, you gotta put your faith in something, hun. What else are you gonna do?
What if you're wrong? What if you are wrong to believe that this place...
I mean, what makes you the judge of everybody, Sylvie? Why are you the right authority?
To burn this place down and start from scratch.
Sure,
Is it?
burn it down. Easy.
Yeah, building is hard.
Trying to fix what's broken.
Exactly. And that's what you're not doing.
We hope that the TVA turns into something good. Then we hope that Timely doesn't turn into He Who Remains or someone worse.
That's what life is, sweetie, with every last person in the world. We all hope everyone doesn't turn evil.
So you're going to bring him behind the curtain.
He already knows, honey. He invented the curtain.
You can't give people free will and then just walk away, Sylvie. Timelines are free. It's up to us to protect them. It's up to us to do better than He Who Remains.
Isn't that why you took him out?
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
Yeah, you already did, Sylvie. Welcome to the game. You could have lived the rest of your life on one of them branch planets, but you looked up He Who Remains.
Not gods.
And yes, there is the whole thing about you being gods too. With great power, you know. Tom Holland had a point. But I like this. I like this growth.
B15 has integrity. I don't need to agree with her to know.
Very true. She's been consistent, unlike yourself. Oh, another proposal.
We can stop her. Protect this place.
The only thing you want to protect is yourself.
Period.
And you. This is really disappointing, I must say.
I know, I'm working on myself.
Lies.
And this place is hours away from becoming a crater in the cosmos. Driven into the ground by 2 aliens.
Not the eye roll from Miss Minutes. I'm gonna need her to just calm down.
And helps me restore stability to the TVA. Will have a life on the timeline if they want it.
And that's all Brad ever wanted. Wow.
I finally am seeing the bigger picture. Life on the timeline was that good, huh?
Apparently it was. He's a selfish guy, you know?
How does it feel, knowing that all of us here would rather die than follow you out that door?
Yeah, that shows a lot about your management. Look at Miss Minutes, this psycho. But Ravonna should be looking at the fact that it clearly means she's not a good leader. Someone in my comments said that Ravonna might actually be another king, and it's possible. It's fine, Brad. You'll get yours. Go. You made your decision. Frickin' walk in it.
Are we looking?
I'm sorry, but I just love when I see nerds nerding out. It's so pure.
Did you say machine?
Yeah. Those temp pads now are
Lawyers?
taken.
Type of machine. Is that?
Yeah. This guy's literally building a ship that's like 3,000 years in in the future. And he's like, but about the hot cocoa. But also, he might be hungry. That wasn't your fault. But now we know that Ravana's crossed the line. She's not coming back. I'm sorry, Mobius. We'll find you a real love. Oh, he doesn't trust it. Really? You think they put poison in the hot cocoa machine? Just take a damn sip. Over the top ass. If you didn't need him, then why are you coming for him, Ravana?
Where's the device?
It's gone.
All your files are being corrupted in real time. Did you download unauthorized games again?
No.
Ah! Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes. She's taking control of all the systems.
Docs and her team are dead. It's gotta be Renslayer.
You let her live. The one person you should have taken out. I'm sorry, Sylvie, but you took out the wrong person.
Renslayer doesn't want him.
She wants the device.
The TVA. They're still here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's you. Both you crazy.
Thank God.
Well played. This man is a player. He is a player.
Then X5 here is going to find a very thorough and incredibly painful way to kill you.
There's more of me. Go for it.
I think you're going to like what I have to say.
Man's always scheming. Always scheming. And truthfully, they need him. So, this is the flash forward.
She's trying to slow us down.
Take the stairs.
Yep, this is the flash forward we saw with Sylvie in the elevator. But Loki got pruned. So who was behind it? Was it X5 then? Because remember I was saying who pruned it was from behind. Yep, there's his old self. So did Loki prune himself? Loki pruned himself. Maybe that's what happened. Loki saw him, saw what needed to happen, pruned himself so he could fix himself in the past. Oh my God, these timeline things are going to break my brain this season. So where'd the phone call come from? That was still a question. So they both hear the phone ring. Yep. Okay. Well done, show. Well done. Way to bring it around. Catch up, Loki. And without a thought, he just does exactly what he did in the future. This is making me lose a lot of faith in the whole idea that the future can be permutated. He's like, there's an explanation for that, but it's long. Let's go.
I promise you this will make sense.
Yeah, right? He's like, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, who was on the damn phone?
Hello?
About time. What's taking you guys so long? I could take her offline if I reboot the system.
Reboot the system?
The dampeners that prevent people from using magic at the TVA.
Good.
That off too.
Good. Sorry, right? Like, hello?
I can't access. I'm being locked out.
Well,
Bye, psycho.
So,
They're up to
Not
something.
mocking. Sorry, that was good.
I need to tell you.
Yeah, well,
You'll never be him.
he never wanted to be.
I'm Miss Minutes.
Look at this analog version. I love it. Well, now you're on your own, Nirvana.
what's new?
Go.
You mean go? Brad, you were so lame. Okay. Calm down, Skywalker. Good night.
What is going on?
I didn't think I'd see you again so soon. Let's go.
Damn. I did not think they would actually go through with pruning her. Did that work? Welcome back, Brad. So she took over your mind entirely. That sucks. I forgot she could do that from last season. Is that really the end of Ravana? Feels too easy.
Just put your head in the scanner.
He ain't gonna trust you to do that. Let's hope we can get through the fro, because it's thick and glorious.
Worked.
Okay, you can take your head out now, quickly. Thank you.
You have to move fast. Who's it
Who
gonna
moves
be?
fast?
I'll do it.
Look at that.
It should be me.
Why?
I know how the throughput multiplier works.
This is weird. It seems like it's not in He Who Remains' or Kang's best interest to risk his life.
Time to be brave.
It's like his entire persona has changed since he got in that room with Ravonna. It's very interesting. But again, he's a king.
Know about these radiation levels, because it's even worse than when I was
You'll
out
make
there.
it.
He's still on the whole skin peeling off thing. He still hasn't gotten over that from episode 1. Did they at least fix the helmet? Oh, sure. Now they've got a new helmet. Not when Mobius had to go. All right. I'm going to need you to move your ass. That's right. You're freaking kidding me.
Where is he?
He's gone.
The spaghetti.
The radiation is just too high.
What did we do wrong? I don't know.
Maybe you need someone who's not human who can withstand it. Because I'm thinking, like, you know how Thor was able to resist the radiation of a sun for like enough time to fix that thing, the forge? I mean, I know that. Uh-oh. I was gonna say, I know Loki's not actually an Asgardian, but that doesn't look good, and you get to see it. No, protect OB! Sophie, use your body as a shield. Sylvie, whatever your name is. Loki's like, I gotta die again? This ain't fair! They're gonna end the episode, aren't they? You bastards! I knew it! But we're only on episode 4, so it's okay. We know that something happens. I don't know what happens. Maybe He Who Remains had a backup plan. I don't know. Let's double check. Is there anything else? Anything else? No. Okay. That ended abruptly and not the way that we planned. But I guess we had to know that not everything can be so easily fixed by episode 4. But quite a few interesting things here. I feel like we're going to get a reset. I don't know. I get a sensation that we're going to get a reset of some kind, like a time jumping has been a huge part of this season since the first episode. So I feel like we're going to bounce around even more still. But gosh, where do we start? Losing Dox and her crew. Very interesting that I forgot the lady in the wheelchair who explained to B15 that because Dox is a woman of principle, like what she did with the timeline was not some malicious, I just want to see everybody die situation. It was very much like she thinks that this is what she's supposed to do. She thinks that this is the way. And really it's misguided. She's not understanding because clearly she doesn't quite believe in the whole I should have had another life situation. But I like the way she was told, or B15 was told that you guys are both basically two sides of the same coin. The only difference is that Dox doesn't believe in the same thing that you do, but you both have this altruistic belief system in doing what's right and what's best for the TVA overall. So she was like, go and talk to her. I think you can convince her and her people to work with us if you can get them to understand why we're doing what we're doing, right? Which is, again, the baseline, which is saving the TVA first, and then we can argue the semantics of whether or not we should be pruning the branches later. And so she did that, and we saw that Dox was actually like, if it had come from anybody else, it probably wouldn't have gone over. But we saw when she was talking to Brad later, she's like, there's one person I know is coming to me straight. It's B15, right? So she was really considering working with her, although she, of course, did have her doubts because she's like, but if I'm still on the whole, I don't think the branches should exist situation, we're not going to agree in the long term. And that's where Brad was trying to get in. But of course, Brad is very self-serving. So understandably, he really wasn't appealing to Dox at all because Dox is like, the difference between you and B15 is that one of you has integrity, right? So anyway, we see that unfortunately they ended up being taken out of the picture because Ravonna tried to come in and recruit them. But Dox realized right off the bat that she's like, yeah, no. Just like Brad, you're self-serving. This has nothing to do with us, nothing to do with the TVA. This is all about you and the glory you think you deserve. So no, we're not going to work with you. And we saw that unfortunately that, Ravonna was not there to have them sit around. Like, again, she didn't have to take that step, which is why I was like, okay, Ravonna really has gone fully to the dark side, because she could have just left them, right? I mean, I guess in a way, well, no, she could have, because Miss Minutes could wipe their brains again. Like, she really could have just wiped their minds and they would have forgotten the fact that Ravonna even showed up. But she did that because, she crossed that line. She doesn't want to be challenged in any way. And as I said, someone in my comments for the last episode said they thought that maybe Ravonna was a Kang, a female Kang potentially. And those type of actions make me think that that's possible. And that would also explain why Kang would want to work with her in the first place. But I don't know about that. But anyhow, that kind of goes back to Ravonna, which we said here, we found out the big secret that Miss Minutes was showing her. And no, it is not in fact Kang's daughter. I like that idea though. But anyhow, it turns out that Kang and her worked closely together for him to win control of the TVA and the war. So I guess that war was to basically, I guess he took out some of the Kangs in order to get the sacred timeline. I'm assuming it's the war that they're referring to. But anyway, it looks like Ravonna was the general he appointed to lead this army, and then gave her the promise that they were going to lead the TVA and the sacred timeline and everything else together after they won. But of course, as it's true of all Kangs, they don't do partnerships. Not really. He was using her, and once he was done using her, he had Miss Minutes wipe her memory, as well as everybody at the TVA who clearly fought in this war, and of course gave them the new belief system that they know now. And so obviously Ravonna was upset, because we know from last episode that she's looking for her own glory. She's looking for that seat of power that she believes that she should have. And it is somewhat understandable, because as she said there to Miss Minutes, like, I did all the hard work, and then basically I've been working to keep him in his seat this whole time, thinking that, there's no one else there, that there was these TVA gods or whatever the case may be. Like, I've been duped, right? I've been duped into doing a manager's work without getting the manager's pay, if you know what I'm saying? So she was understandably upset. And Miss Minutes, of course, did that because she wants Ravonna to do what she wants, right? We got to remember, Miss Minutes has watched a master manipulator at work for eons. So of course she's doing the exact same thing, manipulating Ravonna, because we all know Miss Minutes don't want Ravonna to work with her. She don't want to rule eternity with Ravonna. She wants her man. She wants another Kang. She's like, if she couldn't get this Kang, she'll get another Kang. Right? And really, let's be real. If Miss Minutes had her way, she would have tried to probably convince this Kang to get back on her side, and then they just get rid of Ravonna all over again. So anyway, Ravonna was pretty silly, I think, to not realize she was being played. Or maybe she did, but we're never going to find out, I guess. But that's how she basically got Ravonna to work with her in her plan to basically take over the TVA for themselves. Right? But the only way they could do that, of course, is that they need to get the invention that Timely created so they could fix the TVA. But they wanted it to be them who do it, not him. Obviously not Loki and Mobius. They want it to be them so they can win over the rest of the TVA and keep them in line so they can continue to rule. So that's basically what kicked off what happened, of course, with Dox. And then later on, when they realized that all they could get was Brad. And I really love Dox's last lines to Ravonna. Like, how does it feel to know that we'd rather die than work under you? Like, that should have given Ravonna the huge resounding clue that she's not a good leader. That this is not, like, you're not inspiring people, folks. And if you can't even get us, how are you supposed to get everybody? Like, you're not gonna make it work. Like, whether you like it or not, Kang may be a lot of things, but he was very smart in creating a TVA and creating a situation in the TVA where people would want to stay in line and would believe as blindly as Dox did to stick to the cause, because he knew that if he was at the front and center of it, he probably would have lost people, right? It probably would have been a situation like we're seeing with Dox. So anyway, so that's what happened, and then Ravonna ends up only having Brad, so she gets desperate and figures, okay, fine, we'll get Victor, we'll get the device, and we'll just go with what we've got. But she doesn't have enough people, right? She really, both her and Miss Minutes grossly underestimated how much they could do, or overestimated, I should say, how much they could do with just the two of them and Brad. But we find out that Miss Minutes, of course, tried to shut everything down at the TVA in the meantime to try to stall everybody and, give them enough time to break Timely. But Timely is a Kang, and Kangs are wily, right? They're not just this Kang. I think the one thing I will give Sylvie that she was right about with Victor is that, yes, he's not as malevolent seeming as He Who Remains was. Yes, he's not as I guess he doesn't have that air about him that is kind of like overlordy, I guess you could say, as maybe He Who Remains or other Kangs have, but he's still a Kang, right? Even though he's not at that point where he's necessarily looking for world domination, he's extremely smart, and he was a trickster. Like, hello, they saw that this man was literally ripping people off in his timeline. So he's a man who knows how to scam. He's been doing that for a long time. And I think, again, they underestimated just how much his desire for self-preservation was going to kick in and keep him from just folding just out of sheer fear. I mean, at that point, too, he'd had his life threatened like 18 times. So he's at a point where he's like, obviously, y'all aren't going to kill me, because if you were going to kill me, then you wouldn't have gone through all this trouble, right? Like, everyone's been keeping me alive. So kudos to him for finding a way to stall and not actually like give her, because like I feel like he really would have rather died than give them his invention, because we already know Kangs are very self-serving, and that would not have helped him to help somebody else. So anyways, they got him, but thankfully Kang managed to stall long enough for the Lokis and for Mobius and all them to figure out a way to get around them, which of course, like OB was really, you think? That's actually shocking that Miss Minutes wouldn't have thought to get OB, like tell Ivana to get OB, because OB is the only other person I think that's been around since the invention of the TVA. So, but anyways, let's be happy for plot or other reasons that she didn't remember that. But anyway, OB is like, yeah, I can reboot the entire system, which means Miss Minutes will be shut down because she is still tied to the TVA system. She is still, in fact, digital, thank God. And at least if we do that, we'll release her locks on all the systems. But then it's so funny. He's like, the security measures will go down. And they're like, what is it? And here I'm thinking like, I don't know, asteroids will come flying in or something. They're like, oh, the magic dampeners will be gone. And the way both the Lokis are like, if you don't turn this damn thing if you don't reboot this damn thing right now, like that's your biggest fear. Hello. So anyways, thank goodness that happened, and it came just in time for them to, of course, do what they needed to do. Sylvie doing her thing to take over X5 just long enough to take out Ravonna, and then of course Sylvie taking him out herself, and of course rescuing Victor. But that actually, we should just talk really quickly about that whole amazing loop that they brought back to episode 2. Remember, I said from episode 2 that it looked like Loki had been that he'd been pruned from the back, and I was like, that couldn't have been Sylvie. Right? And why would Sylvie prune him? Like, she has no reason to do it. And I was right. And I was like, who would do it though? Who would know to click? I mean, it could have been anyone, truthfully, because most people at TVA didn't trust Loki anyway. But yes, now we know it was Loki. Loki pruned Loki in the last minute. And it told me, as soon as I saw what happened in the elevator, I was like, oh my God, Loki. And we saw him pick up the stick. I was like, Loki's going to prune Loki. So that was really well done. I love that loop around. I love when you see storylines that do that really smart writing where everything kind of comes back together, especially with time travel, because that's not an easy thing to do. But I liked it. Really, really well done. Love that moment. But anyway, that happened. Loki was like telling Sylvie, look, I ain't got time to explain, but one day I will. But anyhow, we see it all come together, and he remains to the loom, and thankfully he is able to open the lock. And for some reason, he believes he's got to be the one to put the amplifier into, the same place that Mobius went. But of course, we heard OB say several times the radiation is insane. The radiation is way higher than it was. Like, it's super high. I'm not so sure about this. Like, it's something we can't account for. And we saw Mobius freaking out because we know that Mobius hated this mission because of the whole skin peeling thing, understandably so. So the fact that they kept saying this, I had a feeling like they keep repeating it. They're not just repeating. I don't think they're just doing this for comedic effect. I really think there's a reason why they're repeating it. And we see that Victor goes to do it, which again, it seems very un-Kang-like for him to volunteer himself to do something that would hurt him. Like, it seems like all the Kangs have had self-preservation at the top of their list. So a very interesting move. But I was like, maybe he had another plot in mind. Maybe he thought he could do something out there that would guarantee power. I don't know, but he never got that far because he turned into spaghetti the way that Obi talked about back in episode 2, and he's gone. Just like that, he's gone. The multiplier's outside, and obviously with him being human, anybody else who goes out there can pretty much assume that they're going to be shredded by radiation the second they go out there too. So I'm sitting there thinking, what are we going to do now? Because obviously we saw that the loom basically hit critical mass at that point. And what I was thinking is that maybe it should have been a Loki, because there was a whole conversation about them being gods, which I didn't really talk about, but it was a really good conversation about, the Lokis basically talking about the responsibilities that they have and how they've kind of always thought that they have all these big grand missions, but they never think about the repercussions of what they're going to do. Like I said, you gave everybody free will and you're walking away. No. And that's true, right? Like, even with humanity right here on Earth, we have free will, but we still have governments and laws in place, because you can't just let people do whatever they want. Imagine what the world would be if everybody did exactly what they wanted and have no sense of law, order, respect for certain things, right? So that's basically what Loki's saying. Like, you created this whole new world and you're walking away. Like, you can't do that. You need to create order for this chaos. And she was like, well, isn't that like playing God? But I'm like, sis, you went and killed the guy playing God. Is that not in effect playing God? Like, you already are acting like a god. So I like that Loki says, yeah, we are gods. So, you know, pick up your bootstraps, sis. Like, put on the mantle. Like, you're a god, act like it. So anyway, coming back to that, Loki is not human, and I don't know if it goes the same for Sylvie, because I don't want to keep calling her Sophie. My God, I'm gonna get it right, I swear. But anyway, I don't know if it's the same for Sylvie, but we all know Loki is not human, right? He comes from a planet of blue people, but we know that, for example, as I said in the episodes, Thor, back in Thor 3, 2? I can't remember what movie it was. Whatever one he got his new hacks in. He actually had to stand in front of the radiation of a star for like a significant amount of time. And he was okay. Like, again, he would eventually have died, but he was able to withstand a lot and survive it. So we know that Asgardians are built different. I don't know about Loki because I know he's not technically an Asgardian, but he's not very fragile either. Like, the point is, he's stronger than I think the typical human body. So I think if anyone possibly should have gone out there, it should have been Loki, actually. Like, he might have been able to withstand the radiation longer, but I could be wrong. Again, I don't know if the people from his planet are closer to humans in their DNA than not, but I have to think not, because like I said, Loki doesn't age the same way humans do, and we know that he can put up with the hell. He got beaten by the freaking Hulk and survived, right? Like, whipped around like a rag doll and walked away. So clearly he's more durable than the average human, but as I said, I don't know why he didn't go out, though we do know why. But anyway, so far from what we can see, Victor's gone. And so are their chances of fixing the TVA. And we saw what looked like a radioactive explosion heading towards the TVA. And obviously, there's nothing that anyone could do at that point to escape. So we ended the episode on a cliffhanger, and I'm not sure where we're going to go. But like I said, I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be another time jump of some kind. Like, I just don't believe it all ended so quickly. Like I said, even Renslayer being taken out that quickly, I'm like, that seems too easy. So yeah, we'll have to see what goes down in the next episode, because hello, the show's called Loki. We know Loki ain't going anywhere, and it's only episode 4. So yeah, what are we going to do? I literally have no idea where we go from here or what's going to happen next, which is a great feeling that shows that the writing is really on point so far this season. So yeah, great episode. I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please leave your comments below as well as a like on this video, and we will see you in the next one.